Every mainstream finance channel tells you the exact same story. Wealth is a game of personal sacrifice. They want you to micromanage your daily life, track every minor transaction, and believe that if you just have enough willpower to skip your morning coffee, you'll somehow unlock financial freedom. They are lying to you. Your consumer habits aren't the reason you're trapped in a loop of financial anxiety. The real problem is much deeper. You are operating inside an economic machine that was deliberately engineered to keep you uninformed, reactive, and stuck in pure consumer mode. But if you look at one small corner of the map, a nation of just 5 million people quietly cracked the code. Norway, a country that built a financial engine so colossally massive that it holds nearly 1.5% of every single listed corporation on planet Earth. We are talking about a $1.7 trillion sovereign wealth fund. On paper, that means the system has automatically secured roughly $330,000 for every single Norwegian citizen alive. They didn't achieve this by preaching personal budgeting or waiting for a lucky market break. They did it by treating financial architecture not as a personal chore, but as national infrastructure. They designed a system to work for the individual, not against them. If you watch this video all the way through, you are going to learn how to apply that exact macro architecture to your own personal accounts. Because what we're breaking down today isn't just about a wealthy country. It's about how to build a structural firewall against human weakness. It's about how to clone the world's most disciplined portfolio strategy to run your life like a sovereign state. In December 1969, a massive oil field was discovered off the Norwegian coast, changing the country's trajectory overnight. But historically, striking liquid gold is an economic death sentence. When billions of sudden dollars flood a small, unprepared domestic market, it triggers what economists call the resource curse. Human nature is weak. When a country gets rich overnight, spending surges. Politicians inflate internal budgets to win the next election. Easy money drives up inflation, destroys local industries, and rots the financial culture. Norway looked into that exact abyss and chose a completely different mathematical architecture. And the man behind that choice wasn't a Norwegian politician, it was Al-Kasim, an Iraqi geologist who moved to Oslo and quietly became the brain of their state oil policy. Al-Kasim realized a fundamental truth that mainstream finance gurus hate to admit: human discipline is completely unreliable. If people see money, they will spend it. So he helped engineer an unbreakable structural barrier. In 1990, Norway established the Government Pension Fund Global with one ironclad rule: not a single krone of oil revenue could be spent inside the borders of Norway. Instead, every cent was systematically forced out of the country, converted into foreign currencies, and immediately deployed into global assets. They built a literal firewall between their liquid wealth and human temptation. They wired their taxes, savings, and investments into a single cohesive architecture. But what happens when you actually ship trillions of dollars out of your borders? Where do you put it to ensure it outlives generations? Once that money leaves Norway, the fund doesn't gamble on speculative ventures, short-term trends, or day trading setups. It operates on a ruthless, automated mathematical framework. A strict 70-30 asset allocation. Exactly 70% is anchored in global equities across 9,000 different corporations, while the remaining 30% is securely locked into fixed income bonds and prime real estate. Think about what this means. Norway has essentially indexed the collective output of modern civilization. When Apple sells an iPhone, Norway wins. When a logistics hub in Europe automates its supply chain, Norway wins. They don't try to outsmart Wall Street or time the market cycles. They simply decided to own the global economy itself. Compare this to the standard Wall Street retail investor who loses sleep over daily stock charts, panic sells during market corrections, and pays massive fees to active fund managers who fail to beat the market anyway. Norway eliminated all of that noise. No active trading, no emotional reactions, just relentless diversification. They defined their wealth not as money for the current generation to blow, but as capital belonging entirely to future generations. To protect this compounding engine from political greed, they wired the entire architecture to an ironclad fiscal rule. The domestic government is legally capped from withdrawing more than an annualized average of 3% of the fund's total value. Only the returns get spent. The massive principal balance stays entirely untouched, always. This macroeconomic system completely alters the day-to-day behavior of the individual citizen. In standard consumer economies, the average worker is driven by deep systemic survival anxiety. You are forced to hoard cash, stress over sudden emergencies, and live in constant fear of what happens tomorrow. And when your internal anxiety drops into the red, your brain's dopamine loop gets dangerously exploited. The corporate machine knows that stressed, anxious people are the easiest to convert into impulsive consumers. We buy things we don't need to chase a temporary hit of dopamine, trying to escape our financial panic. We rack up high-interest credit card debt, engage in panic selling during market drops, and fall straight into impulse traps. It is a behavioral defense mechanism born from systemic fear. Norway bypassed this behavioral flaw entirely through a mechanism we can call the no anxiety arbitrage. Because the sovereign fund secures a flawless social safety net, covering universal healthcare, subsidized childcare, and free higher education, the baseline survival panic of the individual is wiped out. Because the money is wired directly into the infrastructure before anyone can touch it, citizens never see the liquidity to waste it. Instead, they receive stability. And when you remove the threat of sudden bankruptcy from a human brain, you break the destructive dopamine loop of panic consumption. Your capacity for long-term investment patience skyrockets. People don't need to hoard non-productive cash under a mattress. They can calmly let their personal investments ride out volatile market cycles because they have the structural runway to survive. Financial discipline is not a product of willpower, it's a product of system design. You don't need a state treasury, and your government certainly isn't building a trillion-dollar safety net on your behalf. But the ultimate lesson of Norway Inc. is that you don't have to figure out financial discipline on your own. You just have to build an environment that automates it for you. In behavioral economics, this is called pre-commitment. First, build your own structural firewall. Set up a split system where a fixed percentage of your paycheck is automatically redirected into an investment account before it ever hits your main checking balance. If your eyes never see the money, your brain never registers it as disposable income. You won't grieve capital that never hit your spending account. You hijack your own dopamine loop by making saving completely invisible. Second, drop the speculative assets. Stop chasing the next breakout trend or timing the market. Anchor your core wealth in low-cost, globally diversified index funds that mirror that 70-30 macro allocation. Own the world, don't trade it. And finally, enforce your own personal fiscal rule. When your portfolio begins to compound quietly, steadily, and relentlessly, do not treat those returns as cash to be consumed the moment they accumulate. Protect the principal balance at all costs. Automatically reinvest the dividends and let the system think on your behalf. Real financial control isn't about restricting your daily life or calculating the cost of your latte factor. It's about building a system so structurally defensive that your long-term success is no longer up for debate. Think about the gravity of this design. The global financial system wants you to remain a fraction, a tiny, predictable variable that reacts to every market crash, every inflation spike, and every corporate marketing campaign. It counts on your fear. It colonizes your attention. But when you build your own internal sovereign firewall, you are no longer just a passive participant in their game. You effectively declare independence from the economic noise. Throughout history, the groups and nations that survived catastrophic resets weren't the ones with the most willpower. They were the ones who controlled the architecture of their assets. They built fortresses out of their systems so their psychological peace of mind was never tied to the volatile promises of central banks or the temporary trends of Wall Street. Stop trying to fix your habits in a broken environment. Fix the environment, and the habits will fix themselves. Build your firewall, allocate your world, protect your principal, because the ultimate form of wealth isn't what you can buy. It's the structural certainty that you can never be broken. Crack the code, build the system, and I'll see you in the next breakdown.